If you enjoy open worlds that feel dangerous, alive, and full of stories waiting to happen, you'll want to stay until the end of this video. Because Crimson Desert isn't just another fantasy action game. What you're seeing right now in the background, even as early gameplay and first-look footage, already shows a world that wants to challenge you, surprise you, and pull you into its conflicts. Crimson Desert is an open-world action-adventure game set on the continent of Pywel, a land that is as beautiful as it is brutal. You play as Kliff, a warrior known as the Greymane, whose life is shattered after a devastating ambush by the Black Bears. What begins as a personal journey of survival and revenge slowly expands into something much larger. A story about fractured factions, shifting power, and a looming threat that goes far beyond one man's loss. This is a single-player experience at its core. There is no co-op focus here, and that's important because the game is clearly designed around immersion, narrative weight, and personal progression. Crimson Desert wants you to feel alone at times, overwhelmed by the scale of the world and the dangers within it, but also empowered by the skills you slowly master. The world of Pywel is massive and diverse. As you explore, you move through bustling towns, quiet villages, vast plains, deserts, mountains, and ancient ruins that feel forgotten by time. Exploration isn't just about moving from point A to point B, it's about curiosity. You climb cliffs, glide from heights, ride mounts ranging from horses and wolves to far more unusual creatures, and even pass through mysterious gates that lead to entirely different realms, like the Abyss. The game constantly encourages you to look at the horizon and wonder what's waiting there. Combat is one of the biggest pillars of Crimson Desert, and it's fast, physical, and unforgiving. There's no single way to fight. You wield swords, spears, bows, and abilities enhanced by elemental powers, chaining attacks together to create devastating combinations. Timing matters. Positioning matters. A single mistake can turn the tide of a fight. Watching the gameplay, you can feel that weight. Every strike looks deliberate, every dodge earned. This isn't about button mashing, it's about reading your enemy and reacting in the moment. Enemy variety plays a huge role in keeping combat fresh. You face ruthless warriors, massive beasts, and powerful bosses that demand different tactics. Some encounters are intense one-on-one duels, while others explode into large-scale battles where chaos unfolds all around you. The game constantly shifts between intimate combat and epic clashes, making every encounter feel distinct. What stands out is how grounded the combat feels despite its scale. Even when battles are spectacular, there's a sense of physicality and danger. You're not invincible, you're surviving. That tension makes victories feel earned, not guaranteed. Progression ties directly into how you play. As Kliff grows stronger, it's not just numbers increasing in the background. You unlock new abilities, refine your combat style, and gain access to tools that expand your options in meaningful ways. The game supports different approaches, letting you adapt your playstyle to the situations you face instead of forcing you into a single path. Visually, Crimson Desert is stunning. The world feels dense and alive, with dynamic lighting, detailed environments, and sweeping vistas that make exploration rewarding on its own. Weather, time of day, and environmental effects all contribute to atmosphere. Whether you're crossing a sun-scorched desert, climbing a frozen mountain, or moving through a quiet forest at dusk, the game constantly reinforces the feeling that Pywel is a real place, not just a backdrop. Animations and character movement are fluid and expressive, especially in combat. Attacks have impact, enemies react convincingly, and traversal feels natural. Even in early gameplay footage, there's a clear emphasis on polish and responsiveness, which goes a long way in selling immersion. Narratively, Crimson Desert takes its time. The story doesn't rush to explain everything. You learn about factions, alliances, and betrayals gradually, through encounters, dialogue, and events unfolding in the world. Kliff's motivation starts as deeply personal, but as you move forward, it becomes clear that the fate of Pywel itself is at stake. That slow expansion of scope gives the story weight and room to breathe. Sound design quietly supports everything you see. The clash of steel, distant shouts, environmental noise, and carefully placed music all heighten tension without overwhelming the experience. Silence is used effectively, especially during exploration, making combat encounters feel even more intense when they erupt. As a first look, Crimson Desert already shows a strong sense of identity. It's ambitious, cinematic, and unapologetically intense. It doesn't try to hold your hand. Instead, it invites you into a world that expects you to learn, adapt, and survive on its terms. As you spend more time in Pywel, what really starts to stand out is how interconnected everything feels. Crimson Desert isn't just throwing activities at you to fill space. The systems are designed to overlap, to influence each other, and to create moments that feel personal rather than scripted. Exploration feeds into combat, combat feeds into progression, and progression feeds back into how you approach the world. It creates a loop that feels natural instead of mechanical. The faction dynamics play a big role in shaping the experience. Pywel is not a land at peace. Rival groups, shifting alliances, and hidden agendas constantly pull the world in different directions. As Kliff, you're not just an observer. Your actions influence how different factions perceive you, and those perceptions can open doors, or close them permanently. Some encounters escalate into conflict, others into uneasy cooperation. The game rarely frames these moments as purely right or wrong, which fits perfectly with its darker tone. Boss encounters deserve special mention. These fights aren't just about dealing damage. They're about understanding patterns, exploiting openings, and adapting under pressure. Each boss feels like a test of everything you've learned so far. Timing, positioning, and awareness all matter, and mistakes are punished quickly. But when you finally bring a boss down, there's a real sense of triumph. You don't feel stronger because the game told you so. You feel stronger because you earned it. Large-scale battles push the spectacle even further. When combat expands beyond a single duel and turns into full clashes between groups, the battlefield becomes unpredictable. Allies fall, enemies reposition, and chaos unfolds in ways that force you to stay alert. These moments sell the idea that Pywel is a continent at war, not just a stage for personal heroics. Traversal continues to evolve as the world opens up. Riding mounts, climbing vertical spaces, gliding from high ground, and discovering hidden routes all make exploration feel dynamic. You're constantly encouraged to look up, look around, and think about how to reach places that seem inaccessible at first. That sense of verticality adds depth to the world and keeps exploration engaging long after the novelty wears off. As Kliff's journey progresses, the emotional core of the story becomes clearer. This isn't just about revenge. It's about rebuilding something that was broken, carrying the weight of loss, and finding purpose in a world that keeps taking things away. The narrative doesn't rely on constant cutscenes to convey this. Instead, it lets moments breathe, quiet conversations, empty camps, remnants of past battles. Those details say as much as dialogue ever could. What's impressive is how the game balances cinematic moments with player control. It knows when to pull back and let you absorb the world, and when to push forward with intensity. That pacing prevents burnout and keeps the experience engaging over longer sessions. You're not constantly being bombarded, you're being invited to stay. From a technical standpoint, Crimson Desert feels built to support long-term immersion. Performance, animation quality, environmental density, and lighting all work together to maintain consistency. Even during intense combat or large-scale encounters, the game strives to remain readable and responsive. That reliability is crucial for a game that demands precision and awareness. As a single-player action-adventure, Crimson Desert clearly knows what it wants to be. It's not chasing trends or trying to fit into a predefined mold. It blends open-world freedom with focused storytelling, fast-paced combat with meaningful progression, and spectacle with restraint. That balance is difficult to achieve, and even at this stage, it's clear a lot of thought has gone into it. By the time you step back and look at the full picture, Crimson Desert feels like a game built on ambition, but grounded in design discipline. It wants to challenge you, immerse you, and reward your curiosity without ever losing sight of its identity. It's not just about what you do, it's about how it makes you feel while doing it. If this first look is anything to go by, Crimson Desert has the potential to stand out as one of the most compelling action-adventure experiences on the horizon. A world worth exploring, battles worth mastering, and a story that unfolds at its own pace. And if you've stayed with me until now, you already know why this is a game worth watching closely.
Where do you think you're going? Pathetic cunt! Cassius.
Dealt with.
Good.
It's over then?
Mostly. That was the last of them. Well done, my lord.
It was a hard one,
My
but...
lord, a message. The remaining enemy forces are fleeing north.
We'll hunt them down. Kliff, on behalf of the shields, light the beacon of victory. And when all is said and done, let's have a drink.
The continent of Pywel. A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace and those who seek to shatter it. Here begins the saga of the Greymanes.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness. We seek to correct this.
I had my own mission, seeking out my Greymane comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted providence.